I'm Chris Carney-Graham, and my presentation discusses the work of Matt Tincani, PhD. Dr. Tincani is a professor and chair at Temple University's College of Education, focusing on applied behavior analysis and special education. Before Dr. Tincani was a professor, he was an associate professor for 10 years at Temple and an assistant professor at UNLV before that. He earned his PhD in 2002 at Ohio State and his BCBA in 2000. The first study I reviewed was an analysis of social skills instruction provided in teacher education and in-service programs for general and special educators. In this study, Tincani and his colleagues found that almost a third of special educators and over half of the general educators that participated in this study reported they received no instruction in teaching social skills in their training. This leaves teachers feeling very unprepared to teach these skills. Special education programs typically focus more on academic skills, content area teaching, and creating individualized education plans, or IEPs. Based on the data collected in the study, it was determined that social skills instruction for behavior professionals needs to be a priority in training programs if the populations they work with are going to succeed in inclusion classrooms and beyond. The next article is called Collaborative Training and Practice Among Applied Behavior Analysts Who Support Individuals with Autism Spectrum Disorder. It addresses the lack of training professionals receive in collaboration. Most of the participants in this study reported that they had little to no training in collaboration. Overall, the study found that while professionals felt that working collaboratively was a regular part of their job, they had little to no training to prepare them for the dynamics of working in a collaborative relationship. They felt that more training was necessary given working with other professionals was an important as well as a frequent part of their job. This next article is called Teaching Self-Control with Qualitatively Different Reinforcers. Existing research has shown that students with intellectual disabilities can be taught to wait longer periods of time for a favored reinforcer. However, in practice, they are typically asked to choose between different reinforcers. This study suggests that individuals can be taught self-control in order to earn more of a particular reinforcer when the amount of time is gradually increased, and this newfound self-control can be generalized to other instances where this strategy has not been previously taught. The next article is called Comparing Brief and Extended Wait Time During Small Group Instruction for Children with Challenging Behavior. While studies have shown that extending wait time for student responses has increased the number and accuracy of students' academic responses, there is little information on how these longer wait times affect students with challenging behaviors. This study showed that shorter wait times for responses to questions regarding the content being taught yielded increased correct responses. It also, to some extent, decreased the number of behavioral issues. Given that the results regarding disruptive behavior were varied and the level of disruption did not change with shorter wait times alone, the study found that further research was necessary to examine this issue and to determine other behavior management procedures that could be used. The next article is titled Race, Culture, and Autism Spectrum Disorder: Understanding the Role of Diversity in Successful Education Interventions. It discusses the disproportionate representation and differences in perceptions of students from culturally diverse backgrounds with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. Parents are crucial in identification as well as the development, implementation, and goal setting of treatment plans for students with ASD. This study addresses the need for behavior professionals to keep in mind the different cultural views about disabilities, and beliefs regarding disabilities are as different as the cultures themselves. Dr. Tincani is an author of books, book chapters, and articles about supporting people diagnosed with ASD. He is an active researcher focusing on support in schools and communities for people with ASD and intellectual disabilities, or ID, as well as other disabilities. Dr. Tincani has developed programs in applied behavior analysis and special education at the university level. He is an advocate for children and adults with ASD, Much of his research explores interventions and strategies to improve social and communication skills in this population. He works with educators and families to provide practical ways to decrease behavior issues and to increase academic skills. His work with adults includes approaches that support individuals with ASD in higher education, relationships, as well as preparing them to live independently. Researcher mock interview question number 1. A student in a 6th grade general education class with an emotional disability is often disruptive in the classroom, particularly when he is presented with a non-preferred task. The special education teacher removes him from the class to go to the zone to calm down, which is an accommodation in his IEP. The student catches on quickly that he can leave class when he makes a fuss. Ignoring the outburst isn't an option because it disrupts the class and makes the students uncomfortable. How does this cycle get broken? Question number 2. I teach in a positive behavior intervention and support, or PBIS school, where students' exceptional behavior is reinforced with tickets they can turn in for various prizes. However, the administration has essentially turned PBIS into a reward system for behaviors that are far from exceptional. Teachers are tracked by how many tickets are distributed, which has led to entire classes being given tickets simply for showing up, and this is encouraged by the administration. It's gotten to the point that the tickets mean nothing to the students and they have no incentive to earn them. What are some options for teachers to turn PBIS back into what it was originally meant to be? Question number 3. Trying to collect data for a functional behavior assessment in an inclusive classroom is challenging. Tracking behavior while simultaneously teaching a lesson ensures that neither of those tasks are being done properly. Sometimes another person is available to assist, other times not. Question: what recommendations would you have for data collection for students with IEPs in general education classrooms? Question number 4. When working with a behavior plan in an inclusive classroom, it's often difficult for teachers to be able to provide reinforcement as they are stated in the plan. Even in a team-taught class, there are other students who require attention, and consistency with the plan is a struggle. What options are there to adhere to a behavior plan for one student while still attending to students requiring assistance? Question number 5. As a graduate of Temple University School of Education, I felt the program prepared me well for my first position as a general educator, and it gave me the background I needed to complete my master's degree in special education. What are your thoughts regarding Temple's preparation of students entering the field of behavior analysis? Dr. Tinkani has been working since 2000 to improve the lives of people with ASD. As a university professor, he continues to educate and prepare college students to become behavior analysts and special educators by teaching undergraduate and graduate classes in applied behavior analysis and special education. He conducts workshops for students, parents, and professionals working with individuals with ASD. Dr. Tinkani's research contributes to developing knowledge in the field. It provides essential information needed to help behavior professionals determine and implement appropriate interventions and helps to ensure that strategies in place are effective. See the following resources for more information about the topics discussed in this presentation.